Hey guys, it's Colonel Coffee here from 221B Gaming, and today we are doing our second podcast, and the topic is on The Division. Now, joining us this time is Aaron Levi again,
What's going on?
CSxIceMANxx again,
What's up, guys?
and we have a new guest today, CSGOOSE.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm only joking, you're not welcome, get out.
I've already had your wife, so it's just polite to have you.
Well, this is off to a great start.
Welcome to the podcast, Goose.
Thanks.
Yeah, we kept this part a surprise. Okay, so The Division, guys. We have a week till the beta. We're all getting it, yes? We're all getting the beta.
Oh yeah.
We've all,
Absolutely.
we've all purchased.
100%.
Yeah, all pre-ordered, ready to go. Looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
Rather large download too. Like what, 26 gigs
Yeah, the beta.
for a beta?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
When you watch videos on YouTube, though, like if you watched all the trailers that the YouTubers did when they got the preview access, there was a lot in it. Like, it was an open world that they got to explore. You know, they did like 4 or 5 missions, some Dark Zone. I'm pretty sure they said they all got like 4 to 5 hours of gameplay, and that was
Yeah.
just straight up missions and stuff. So there's a lot to do.
I'm sure that they got to experience a lot more than what they showed too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's bound to be a heck ton of a lot more.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
The game's kind of changed drastically since the announcement in 2013. We're now 3 years on from that, and it's releasing. I think
In
they
what
started
way?
out with they started out with a certain. Well, I'm not saying change drastically. Just they started out with more of a concept, and as it fleshed out, obviously, you know, different iterations came about. So the stuff I've heard about it or watched, it seems like an RPG with shooter mechanics. So you know, like any RPG, most of them are hack and slash, but in this, instead of hack and slash, you have kind of bullet spongy enemies. Which is interesting, I suppose. It's something you don't see a lot. I mean, instead of like elemental abilities and the classic kind of sword and shield combo or magic, having realistic guns is kind of fresh.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it has been pushed back for so long. That tells me that they're really taking their time, that they're really trying to make it right, unlike some games like Battlefield that came out and totally flopped to start.
They pushed it out so they could reach financial goals or whatnot. It seems like
Yeah.
they want to make the best quality game that they can. Kind of reminds me a bit of Destiny. Destiny got delayed a number of times for different reasons, obviously, but
I didn't know that. I thought Destiny was.
It's also hard to know what to compare it to, though, because you can't really compare it to any other shooter, you know?
yeah.
It's kind of like all of them combined, which is going to be
You
fantastic.
can. It's got the Tom Clancy feel about it. You can compare it to like every Tom Clancy game. It's got that.
The Ghost Recon third person.
Yeah, the Ghost
aspect.
Recon.
Even
feel to
the
it.
Splinter Cell aspect too,
Yeah.
with a bit of
Yeah.
stealth and stuff like that.
But
I
guess
liked
that's
how I guess
part of
the
whole thing.
weapon customization was brought in by the same people that did the customization on Advanced. Was it Future Soldier?
Future
Ghost Recon
Soldier,
Future
yeah.
Soldier? Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought
it-
that was really cool because they did a good job in that with the weapon customization and stuff, and how each gun kind of reacted differently,
It was
looked
very
differently.
detailed in that
Yeah.
customization too, all the way down to the trigger. Like, how many games have you ever played to where you could customize what trigger you want on a gun? I mean,
Yeah, you could put a
that's
hair trigger on
fantastic.
it. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's not something you see in a lot of games.
It'll be cool if they take that a bit further with the Division. From what I've seen on like the coverage that I've watched, like you can put pretty much any sight on any gun. So if you want to rock a shotgun with a scope on it, you can. I think that's pretty cool. You know, especially for the
Yeah.
people that are actually gun enthusiasts and know what all these firearms are and equipment is. They can just mix and match and put whatever they want on whatever they want. That's pretty unique, I think.
Yeah, you're not limited to one specific attachment for a specific gun, which
Yeah,
is nice.
yeah,
I'm
that is
more
nice.
excited for the exploration side of it, really. Them
Yeah,
In a way, I am
customization.
too. I mean, that's all part of it, though. Like when you explore, you know, by the looks of the bit that we've seen so far, you know, they detailed into the 4 different gun types.
Mm-hmm.
So you got, you know, like your common, your rare, your high end, I think it's called, and legendary. So I assume you can't get the top 2 until you're a higher level. But again, that
Right.
all comes down to exploration and
Do
finding
you also
things that you
notice
can
too that when you dismantle
craft.
each type, you get weapon parts for each type too? I thought that was pretty cool.
It's a good
Yeah,
idea. So like
that's what you
forging.
need for the crafting. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
if you get green guns and you dismantle them, then you can recreate like
A
a
green gun.
decent green weapon, and then
Yeah.
you'll have to find purple weapons to dismantle and then build your own gun from it, I guess, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that is cool.
I suppose whatever beast the division ends up being, it's going to kind of heavily inform what we're going to get in Ghost Recon Wildlands as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wildlands.
be a bit of
That's
insight.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Because I mean, like obviously, the division is kind of post-apocalypse, you know, that Die Hard style in New York with the snow and everything and the skyscrapers, and
Yeah.
then it feels like Wildlands is almost the same thing, but you're shifting to whatever the Nairobi Desert or wherever it's at, you know what I mean, and it's more
Yeah, Latin
than
America.
survival.
I'm actually really looking forward to mid-crisis New York City. I think that'll be
Oh, yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see to compare like the landmarks if there is, you know, if they actually did take a map from the city and stuff like that and put it into the game. I think it'd be interesting to see.
For a lot of people, I spent a day in New York. No, I didn't even spend a day. I spent a couple of hours.
Well, a
And
lot of people that have talked about it have said, like literally,
quite accurate.
it looks like New York.
Yeah. I just hope the scale is quite big. So as far as I've seen so far, it looks like a really big map. But
Yeah, for what we're getting to start. Seen a couple things
I don't
that
know
kind of
about
made me
the.
scratch my head, but
I'm not sure about like the New York and Manhattan and stuff, but like they're how far away are they? Like are they like 2 huge areas? Or
oh
is
yeah, New
Manhattan
York and
just like
Manhattan's big, dude. Yeah,
right?
Manhattan is a large place, lots of really tall buildings.
Because I watched a video where in one of the trailers you see one of the characters standing by a bridge, which they said was, I don't know if it was
Brooklyn
a bridge
Bridge.
in the Brooklyn Bridge or something, and there was another one that was they compared it to a photo of Manhattan, and so far the game's all based in New York, so there's people were saying, is Manhattan going to be available as well? Is it going to be DLC? So New York's big enough. How big is the map going to be? But when you think about it, if it's only 4-player co-ops, then how big do you want it to be?
I think starting off, the size is going to be like relatively big, like you said, but I think people are looking for it to get bigger in like forms of DLC and such, you know. You got to figure they're going to squeeze their money out of us in some way, shape, or form. So I would anticipate increasing map size in the form of DLC.
Yeah.
Let's hope. I mean, even if they don't, they could always expand on what they currently have to start. I mean, New York's a big enough place to where they could really put a bunch of stuff just in New York, and not even have to expand to other areas of the city.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's it. Like a lot of it's going to be search and rescue. So again, from what we've seen, the bounty things, I don't know much about them, but it seems kind of like I guess you could compare it to Destiny bounties. I don't know if they're daily or weekly, but a bounty is where you get a distress signal for somebody that needs help, and you have to go in and rescue them or whatever. So they could expand on the city to make more houses available or more buildings available for you to go in. Where I was compared to Destiny when they did DLC. A lot of the stuff that they just did the same thing but backwards, or
Right. Yeah.
they involved the same stuff. So even if they changed it a little bit and opened a few extra doors that we've never been in before, not just the same building with different enemies, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
well, I mean, one of the big unanswered questions was that are skyscrapers going to be scaled in the sense of skyscrapers? Like, if you can enter a building, will you be able to, like, I'm not talking about the base buildings or anything, but while you're out in New York, say there's certain buildings you can enter, like, is it going to literally be 50 levels, 50 floors, like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Because, like, most, if not all of the gameplay has been on ground level, walking around New York, going into dark zones, you know?
That's a good point. I've never looked at it like that.
And I mean, if I can literally reenact Die Hard 1, that's what's going to happen.
You're gonna go in the Nakatomi building.
Which took place in LA, though, unfortunately.
But, yeah, by the by,
Let's just
the
play a
R.I.P.
tribute
Alan
here to
Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hans
R.I.P.
Gruber, we
Hello.
salute you.
R.I.P.
My
She's
name is
on Vinsta.
Hans Gruber.
No.
Shoot the glass,
yeah,
Aaron.
but,
Shoot the glass.
I mean, that's an exciting idea. I mean, like, literally,
It is,
say if even at the start, buildings aren't fully accessible, if just like a mini DLC is, you know what I mean, tower heist. That's
Right.
fantastic
Yeah.
idea.
That could be an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good idea. Do you think, like, on the same aspect of things, like buildings will be accessible, completely accessible, or do you think they'll be barricaded? Like, when you see in the base of operations, it was quite a big building. Do you think you'd be able to get to that roof? Like, it wasn't a tall building, but it was big enough.
Well, you're right.
You
The
know,
base of operations is split up into
the three
four
wings.
sections.
The three wings, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't see
I'm
why not.
hoping
can get
there's
anywhere
a
else,
lot of
or-
buildings you can access, because I mean the whole aspect of surviving and kind of scavenging your way through this world to grabbing water and supplies and stuff. I hope they do have a lot of buildings that you can enter into and kind of explore around, go up and down and out
Kind of like
of.
Fallout in a sense.
Yeah, kind of like a Fallout type thing, but you're gaining supplies to help people find that you come across in the city,
I suppose
trying to rescue.
it's a bonus that we can't fully define it. That we can't say, oh, it's just Destiny on Earth, or you know what I mean. It's not. It's its own.
It's funny how we keep
going to be,
comparing this
it's its
game to
own IP.
Destiny too. Like there
mean,
really is a lot of similarities.
Well,
Oh, there is, of
console-wise,
course.
it's the only thing that it is comparable to that way. But I mean, any kind of proper speculative things about how similar it is to Destiny, what I've heard anyway is that, like, Destiny is a great Bungie shooter that Bungie then realised was an RPG, whereas the Division, they've come at it from the other end. It's an RPG with shooting mechanics,
Yeah, I think that the Division plans on taking a lot of what Destiny did right and kind of building on it too.
And also improving on the stuff that Destiny did wrong.
Yeah.
And making it better. Destiny's a great game, but there's a lot of flaws with Destiny, and I think the Division has kind of realized that, and they're working on fixing
trying to avoid it.
Yes, exactly. Trying to avoid the same mistakes that Destiny made.
It's funny because for me, Destiny completely came out of left field. Like I had no intentions on getting Destiny at all, and then I played the beta and was like, okay, this is something I gotta check out. So with this game, The Division, I've kept my eye on this since I got my Xbox One. It's really the one game that I've been looking forward to since owning my Xbox One. So I hope it doesn't disappoint. I don't think it's going to at all. I think it's going to be better than what I'm imagining.
I agree with you.
I hope it's not glitchy and stuff as well. Like, I hope Destiny had a lot of errors on that front when they first started. Server, I know it's not exactly the same, but I found it quite laggy. I found a lot of things irritated me on a technical side of things when Destiny first came out. And
Well, I
the
mean,
Division is a big, big game, so I think there's maybe a bit more pressure on them to.
Yeah,
I think that's
26 gigs for the beta. How big's the game download gonna be? You know.
That's why I think why they pushed it back for so long is because they wanted to avoid those glitches and those things that
Hopefully
cause
that's
problems.
that's the thinking anyway.
well, I mean, I just want to be able to jump in with my friends and do some fucking gaming. I don't mind minor
Yeah.
glitches. I don't mind anything like that. You know what I mean? But if it's the whole thing of the servers are too busy on day one, they didn't pay for enough servers, they didn't set it up right. You know what I mean? You can't
Which it
jump
is
in with your
dedicated
friends and enjoy
servers.
it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
4
thought that
player
was pretty
co-op's
cool.
manageable. Like, it's as far as I know, the only matchmaking available is if you're playing solo. The dark zone is the dark zone. You enter the dark zone how you enter it. And
Speaking of
matchmaking
Solo,
wise, it's
let's take this moment to say R.I.P. Han Solo.
word.
Oh, speaking of the Dark Zone, that looks fantastic. I think that's a tremendous idea that they put in there, to where you're not solely relying on PvP stuff to get gear, but that option is there too. You know what I mean? Like, and just the whole aspect of it, where you're not solely competing to get a high score and stuff like that. You're competing for the gear. So you know what I
Yeah, for
mean?
the
You
loot.
know, if you know what you have, like you pick something up, you know what you have. It's not like Call of Duty or Destiny or any of the multiplayer games where it's just a random drop at the end of the round. You know what I mean? You
I
know
like
what
the
you're
idea of
competing
having to
for.
extract your gear. I
Yeah,
think
that
that's kind
too.
of cool.
That's cool
Well, that's
too.
that's a
You know,
judgment
like
call as
it's
well. Like you could kill one guy, and he could have something really cool. I don't know. Can you call in the extraction straight away, or can you just keep going? You might pick up something that you're not too fussed about, and therefore you stay in there longer. I'm not sure. Can you just extract whenever you want?
I think you can
I'm
extract
assuming
whenever you want.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming you probably have a certain amount of beacons, and you'd have to buy or recharge them. You know.
Right.
Yeah, so
I
you
love the
couldn't just
idea
sit
though
there and
that
spam the extraction over and over and over again.
well you
Well, I
have
And
think
make
you're
it
gonna. I think you're
essentially
gonna
to
have
earn your
players that
loot.
are gonna do
So
that. Like I think you're gonna have players that go in there that just, camp extraction points and wait for people to try and get stuff out, and then pounce on you and
but yeah,
take your
well the
gear
thing to
and
take
run.
from it is that you don't lose anything you go in with. So therefore you literally have nothing to lose, everything to gain. So it's a straight out, go for it. It's a straight
Yeah.
out head for head. If you want loot, you're gonna go for it. You're not gonna
How
hold
I have a
back
many
feeling
how
whatsoever.
I
many
have a
people in
feeling
your
I'll be
friends list are
spending a
gonna
lot
go
of time
going rogue on you?
in the friend zone, in the dark zone.
Did you say the friend zone?
Yep, I did. Yep, I said the friend
Yeah.
Whoops.
Danger zone
Iceman's gonna be going rogue the most in
in
the
the
dark
friend zone.
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 Yep, I'm used to it. I've spent my whole life in the friend zone.
Oh,
Oh man.
I'm gonna go
One thing
excellent rogue.
Ubisoft have promised is proper end game scaling, and that there will still be a lot of things to do after level 30. The game will scale to you rather than the other way around, which is
Right, yeah, they said something
fantastic.
about when you hit level 30, like
Hmm.
the game's going to reset all the enemies and they'll all be level 32, 30 as well. So it's not you're not running into that first area of the dark zone and fighting off lower level NPCs. It's going to be more challenging. Like the game's going to continue to be challenging in that
Yeah, because
aspect.
I mean, that's what you want. You don't want to get you don't want to get yourself powered up and then have nothing to do with all that muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I think that'll be cool.
I agree.
See,
I like that idea.
on Destiny, did everyone know about raids, or did we only find that out when the game, when it first came out, and then the announcement was made?
No,
No, I think
everyone knew that there were going to be
Everyone
raids.
knew
They
there were
just
going to be
didn't
raids? Yeah.
have one right away. Yeah, so
Did
we all
they
got
know
got
what it was going to
in.
be?
Yeah, they didn't release a release date. The game pushed, and then everyone knew, oh, raid's going to be coming, and then they released Bolt of Glass, I think maybe 2 months after launch. Maybe 2 months or a month after launch, something like that. So people were like anticipating that first raid, and you know, it gave everybody like a set time to kind of get ready. I remember being behind my group. I got the game a couple weeks late, so everybody else was like all ready to go in and do raids, and here I am trying to get my first character up. What was it, 27 Iceman you had to be to do a
26.
Vault of Glass? 26, something like that.
26.
Yeah. So people were anticipating it, even though it hadn't been out yet. So I hope the Division has some sort of end game content that's similar to that. Maybe it's a 4-player raid or 6-player raid or something. That would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to know that they've got. Well, this wouldn't be. I'd like to know that they've got stuff up their sleeve that we don't know about.
Right. I mean, they haven't made any announcement other than to say there will be end game content.
End game, yeah.
So what that is, we all are wondering.
See, when you think of, like Destiny, they could do whatever they wanted because it was such a fictional
Broad
game.
spectrum.
Yeah, they could. You don't have the jump system. You don't have the new worlds and stuff. It's just Earth. It's New York, and it's human beings. So
Yeah,
I like that.
And you're all
Endgame
walking
are,
around.
There's
no cars.
they could do a
nothing
tower
like that.
heist for Endgame. Maybe that's what they're.
Yeah.
They could do stuff like that. Because I think about that stuff quite a lot actually about Endgame, and what are they going to do if it's just human combat in a city?
Yeah. Well, whatever the core game brings, basically the announcement was that you will not be bored when you get to endgame. So I mean, take that on faith for now, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I have faith in the Division.
I don't want to hear once the game releases, you know what I mean? Oh, in 3 months there's going to be some other stuff for you to do, because that's a cop out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to wait 3 months to find out what Endgame is. I hope that like when the game releases, they're like they put out something like this is the Endgame content right away, so you know. But I like how they're kind of holding that last
I kind of hope that it's more of a surprise, like not knowing what you're getting into. Like you go and you play, and then you hit 30, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have a whole new thing that you didn't expect to happen. I think that would be awesome. Like first War to War, nobody knew about zombies until you played the campaign. When you beat the campaign, then you unlock zombies. It's like, oh, what the heck is this? Zombies. Like something like that, I think would be cool if it was tied into the Division, like a tower heist, where, like okay, you get to level 30, you complete the main story, and then all of a sudden it comes unlocked where there's, you have to go to this, you have to go to a certain building and do a mission that rewards higher level gear and stuff like that, with a fire team of multiple people. I think that would be pretty cool. And just do random ones throughout the city. They could even do it similar to Destiny, where it's one day a week. It resets every once a week, and then you have a certain amount of days to complete the task. And I think that would be cool. Where you could even do it to where, like, you and your team have to complete a certain, like, you have to build a base up and then go do a mission to refurbish your base and do stuff like that. And you have a week to do this in like real time, like in game time. You have a week to do that stuff, and with your friends in the game. I think that would be pretty cool, to where you have that multiplayer aspect with it, instead of just a solo run.
Yeah, that would be cool. Definitely having like weekly, monthly events would be really cool. I liked how Destiny did that. I'd like to see them build off of that.
Well, I mean, in comparing it to Destiny, I don't want them to follow any of the same tracks that Destiny did. I mean, I'm hoping it's its own game in its own right, and like whatever DLC path they go down, whatever they do in that respect, is their own model, and hopefully better than what we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was their own thing. But in what Goose was saying, I would like them to be weekly, monthly, whatever things, events, or whatever that they do.
Yeah, to
I
keep
really
you
think
playing the
I
game.
think that
consistently.
because Destiny was really the first game that did something like that. Like for that I remember. Maybe you guys remember another game that was similar. So I'm just
I'm
going
just
off
saying
that.
that just to kind of keep you interested, because if okay, you get to level 30 and there isn't much end game after that, then what do? You
Right.
know, you know what you know what I mean? That replayability to keep you coming back to that same game
Yeah.
is what I want. I want to keep playing the Division because I'm so excited for it. I'd be severely depressed if I got to level 30 and there wasn't much to do after that.
Yeah. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
push the level cap up. In the first DLC. Okay. Now it's going up to 40 or whatnot.
Well, yeah, they will do that. But like
Yeah,
my
it's
main thing is I'm hoping they include enough in the base game that we don't have to
Right.
wait for monthly events. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I think it says something about the state of gaming today that we've become so used to the idea of DLC that we're already hoping for DLC. We should be hoping for bigger base games.
Very true. Yeah. Good
Yeah,
call.
for how long they delayed. Absolutely is.
Mm.
Like, I'm not expecting perfection, but I'm expecting content. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, no one sets out as for the perfect game. Obviously, I mean that's too much of a pipe dream. Just something you
I've
can
heard
really sink
people
your
ask for
teeth.
it. When a
Yeah,
game's
yeah, yeah.
delayed that much, people fucking demand that shit.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
someone was saying, and I forget who I'm quoting here. It was a YouTuber.
Was it me?
That
No.
yeah, that
There
you
was some
wish
guy on that channel, 221B
uh,
Gaming. I don't know.
that
Oops.
like after the initial announcement, hopes were riding high, and then hopes were lowered again when the game was pushed back. So he said when he did play the beta, he was very, very pleasantly surprised because he didn't go into it thinking, do you know what I mean, this is going to be amazing. He just went into it and played and enjoyed it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Do you know what the worst part about the beta is going to be, though?
It's
We're all gonna
only
get the
3
beta.
days.
The
Not even that.
the
We're
wait
gonna
after.
get it. Yes, that is gonna be the
Wait
worst
after.
part
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
by
point.
far. Is we're gonna get it. We're gonna play it. We're gonna be like, this is fantastic. I want to play it every day, all day, and never work again for the rest of my life and play the Division. And then we're gonna get it for 3 days, and then it's gonna stop, and then we're gonna be even more pissed because we have to wait a month and a half to play it again.
And start all
You know what
over
we should
too.
do?
We're gonna have that
This
classic
isn't
argument.
much
Are they
of
gonna let
a.
us take our progress?
We should.
Well, I
You know
think we
when
can
how we
firmly say
play.
Coffee's hopes are
No.
set way too high for everything.
My hopes.
The hype train is very much alive with you.
I Please forgive me, fans. I forgot all about the Division in my December month off. Like, you all know yourself. I just disappeared for a month. I got ill, and over Christmas and stuff, I just disappeared. And it wasn't until I came back then that I just forgot about the Division a little bit. And then after I seen one trailer, I might have even been you, Goose. Somebody just mentioned it one time, and
Oh, is that
since
when I
then
put it
I
on
just can't stop
Facebook in
talking about it.
capital
said you've had
letters?
the
I
weirdest
can't wait
Clancy
for this
boner.
end game.
Yeah. Oh, Aaron, yeah, you win every time with that one.
Yeah. So backstory, a WhatsApp off, Coffee. You know what I mean? Oh my God, the Division, man! And I goes, I bet you have the weirdest Clancy boner right now, and that's just been the theme of the month.
That is stuck.
Facebook
Yeah.
deleted my comment. I commented on something and I said hashtag Clancy Boner and they deleted it.
Are you serious? They deleted it
Yeah.
over Clancy Boner? Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because
Wow,
Tom Clancy's a
Facebook.
dead man, and they consider that necrophilia.
We shouldn't laugh.
That's pretty
I
shady,
mean, he
Facebook.
died a long time ago.
Yeah.
Can't have any fun on Facebook anymore.
No.
Everybody
So-
gets
Especially when-
offended now.
Especially when you want to fuck the dead.
Oh man.
Especially that. That's yeah.
Those,
Especially
those damn conservatives.
Oh man.
you guys and your
Right.
Clancy Boners, I tell you.
You know.
I'm looking
Clancy.
forward to seeing the difference in graphics from, if you remember, the footage that came out in the very beginning to some recent
what was that
footage.
on?
I'm
Well, I
assuming
found it through
PC.
YouTube, but like I'm saying, like trailer. Oh, what was it captured on? I would imagine PC.
Yeah.
But
I've
there was
heard a
definitely
lot of good
was
things
that
about
little
it.
time period where there was a lot coming out about the Division receiving a downgrade in graphics, but then when people got their hands on it, they said that it still looked beautiful. So I'll be interested to see firsthand, okay, what I remember seeing online prior to 2014 or 2013 about the Division to what we receive on launch day. That'll be interesting. I think the
No.
game's going to look great.
Mm-hmm.
What about the weather system, Goose? I mean,
Oh, dude, that's what I'm most looking forward for.
I
In
mean,
all
you
honesty.
watched his video, and the first thing you commented about was the weather system. Out of all the cool stuff in the game, I mean, the weather system was the one that
Yeah,
surprised you the most. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
might
it
want to
totally
talk
did.
about what's got you
what
excited about the weather
what
system here.
transpired with that? Yeah,
Yeah.
Hashtag Goose's weather boner.
yeah, weather Clancy boner. Oh man.
All I do is watch YouTube clips of the Division and then the weather.
Yeah. Oh, I was in the middle of I was at the beginning of like an hour-long gameplay video from one of the YouTubers that went out for that Clancy event, the Division event, and I was also scrolling through Facebook at the same time, and I saw a post and I responded with, because all I had seen on the video was the weather system. So I'm like, wow, the weather system looks really cool. Well, then Iceman runs with it and starts crapping on me about all the information you see in this video. You pick out the weather system. Well,
You know, you
okay.
got the Dark Zone, and you got the weapon customization, open world, all this stuff, and you pick the weather system to talk about first.
Don't forget, there's also a full day-night cycle in it too.
Yeah,
So
that
that'll be
too.
cool. No, I think the weather system, just to hit on that, it adds another element that we haven't really seen all that much. Like in that first beginning footage, he gets into a gunfight in the middle of a snowstorm. Like, how many times have you had that in a video game? You know, like, or weather
Well, that
becomes
happens in Star
I mean,
Wars all the
they
time.
thought they were going to introduce that in Watch Dogs, and it never came to fruition at all. Like, it was Watch Dogs was supposed to have a weather system where like wind and rain could affect your gameplay, and that just failed epically.
It's a valid layer because it's going to change your perception of what you're currently doing. I mean, if it's clear weather, you know,
I remember reading an article
it's a
where
different
I
thing
think it
to
was a
sneaking
Game
around the
Informer
snow.
article where they
Yeah.
talked about how you're going to want to do certain missions at night when it's dark, or certain missions during a snowstorm, so you have that extra advantage, or you have that,
We're gonna wait till
stealthiness
nighttime and
to
then
it.
go look for some dead bodies to rumble.
Right.
Yeah.
I just thought I thought that would be cool. I go and share my thoughts, and my
Never share
friends,
your-
my
never-
friends so graciously crap all over
Have
me.
you met the internet?
It's nice.
Never share your
nice.
thoughts and feelings.
It's nice having friends.
Welcome to the internet, Goose.
I also contributed a number of more comments about that hour-long video after that fact. Let's just have that be said.
Yeah, you were sweating. You were sitting there going, "Geez, I better mention something else. People are going to think I'm a weatherman."
My internet career is getting off to a short start. It's going to end quickly.
I think we start up a YouTube channel specifically for Goose to just talk about the weather in certain games. Subpar weather.
Weather by Goose.
Yeah.
We could have him on the
could-
channel like every Monday.
You do a
and
segment,
just, like,
yeah.
when we start
Weather
the division,
segment. You're
he could be our
gonna
weatherman.
dedicated weatherman.
It's the division.
He'll be like
weatherman.
Ollie from
Goose.
Family Guy. Just cut over to him in the division.
Now, this week's
snowing!
weather on the division,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have a high of 12 with a snowstorm.
Yeah. Just cut the Goose.
The
It's raining
5-day
sideways.
My head's
It's
shining
raining
rain.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I want to do that so bad now.
I do
That's
too.
getting written down. I'm not going to forget about this idea. Let's see. Goose weatherman
And his weather.
Yeah.
must wear appropriate clothing.
Dress accordingly.
Dress accordingly, yeah.
Layer up when you go outside, gents. It's a cold one out there.
Okay. We'll remember this.
Another I've completely lost my ability to speak English. Another kind of like trepidation someone had on the internet was that you know, straight away when you get proper hardcore players, are you gonna get like level 30s dominating certain dark zones? You know what I mean? And like newer players won't be able to go anywhere near it, which is a
There's
worry.
going to be like a fair way of doing it.
Well, I think a slight matchmaking system would at least help, as in, like when you enter a dark zone, you won't be entering a level 30 dark zone if you're level 5. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the dark zone was layered like that. So the further you get in, the harder the opposition's going to be, and the the better the players will be. So if you're like a low level character, you're not going to want to go wandering deep into the dark zone where everyone's 20, 25, maybe even 30.
Yeah, that would kind of
think-
suck. You go in as a level 2 into the dark zone. You got a dude that's a max level just shooting you. He farts in the wrong way and you die.
Oh, there was one other thing I saw too, where like areas of the dark zone are going to be contaminated, where you're going to have like a certain set of gear to go in there, like a certain gas mask or
really?
a certain level.
Oh yeah, I saw
of
that whole
gear.
gas mask thing. Yeah.
Yeah, to enter
like
into
that. That's cool.
that section.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. You definitely need like certain gas marks for certain things, and they come in rarity levels as well.
Right.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was the
I thought that
Clancy Boner
unique.
again.
Yeah.
It's
Here's over there.
crazy.
Popping up all over the podcast.
6 to midnight, real quick. Colonel Coffee.
It'll be really good to put some serious hours into that game.
Yep. I hope I can put as much hours into that game as I put into Destiny.
Right?
I mean, I got 2,600 hours into Destiny.
I'm saying this right now. I want to beat your Destiny. I want to beat Overkill's Destiny hours.
There's no way. There's not a chance. Not a
There's
chance you're gonna
like
beat it. No
no
way.
What has he
way.
got? Is he in the?
I
Is he in the
have
fives?
a week off. The
Five-
date comes
He's
out,
got
and I
like
guarantee
3,600
I'll give you a
hours or
shot.
something like that into
Overkill
Destiny.
has. See, it doesn't
think
tell
I
you
know.
hours anymore. It just tells you days. I guess you could work it out, but you know what I mean. Like it used to say specific hours. So on my friend list, Coco or Coffee, she's got 160 days now, and Overkill's like 155.
Jesus.
And Overkill was going to message me with his buddy Solo's game time the other day, but he forgot. I'd love to see his game time. You know, like he's like Solo's a nice guy. I get on with him, but like,
So
the game
160
time is
times
just crazy.
24. That's 3,840 hours.
That
said-
sounds about right.
You said Overkill had how many?
It's 3720 is his total.
3720.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder how much I have. I think I'm over 3,000. I'm pretty
You're-
sure I am.
You're over 3.
Or
I'm
I'm-
only at 2,700.
Yeah.
And I was a good 200 ahead of you before I kind of quit Destiny for a
Yeah,
while.
you tailed off.
I
But
reckon
I mean,
my
yeah,
brother would
that's
be
a,
quite high if I didn't stop game sharing with him.
that's a,
he
that's a
really
lot of
misses
time that
Destiny,
I won't tell
but-
my wife that I've invested in one game.
Oh man, that's nothing. I have work this out. I have 730 days on Final Fantasy.
Wow.
I don't know how many hours that is, but that's, in all fairness, that's over the course of 14 years on and off.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
I think
So
the
it's
Division
still-
will definitely be a game that you can
Oh.
invest hours.
What's
A
the
lot
weather
of
like in
hours.
Final Fantasy?
Yeah, they got a good weather system.
It slows the frame rate down, so
I'm going to
So
change my gamer
disabled.
tag to
There is
Goose
no
the
weather.
Weatherman.
Yeah.
Change it to Weather Goose.
Weather Goose.
Weather Goose. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's fitting. I
Stuff.
like it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so I suppose, well, you've got in the Division, you've got like a specialist ability, you've got an active ability, and you've got a passive ability. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
plus all the weapon customization, the armor customization, gas masks, and everything else, and then obviously vanity items. I mean, it seems like a pretty deep system from the outside,
Right. Yeah.
which is
I
great.
agree with that.
A
Yeah.
lot of people said that the abilities that you have, one ability can change your entire completely. And
Yeah, they were
that's
saying
where,
there's a lot of stats.
So what direction is everybody gonna go in?
Yes.
Well,
At
speaking,
first?
well, that's the cool thing about it. If you put like your skill point, if you will, into a certain thing, you can go back and basically respec it and put it
Yeah.
into something else, which is
So
awesome
you
in
could,
my
you
opinion.
could change on the go. You can,
Right. You can
according to
kind
the
of adapt to
situation.
the situation that you're in. You can, if you need to throw explosives at one point, but then you need something else at another, you have that ability to change on the fly as opposed to being stuck with that decision. Like in Fallout, if you put a point in the wrong skill tree, then,
There's
it's
no going
permanent.
back.
There's no going back from that. So the fact that you can change that is pretty cool in my opinion.
I am totally going to build the ultimate weatherman. That's for sure.
You're gonna have satellites coming out of your ass.
Yeah. I'm gonna focus a lot on medic. Like I really want to have a good healing
I was going to say,
character.
Aaron's usually a really good medic.
Oh yeah, that's great,
this-
Goose. Pick the guy that dies first in every game to be the medic.
Oh
Sasuke,
boy.
what was your main class on Extinction?
Oh, I don't not remember that.
It's
all.
a long time ago. See, I was always an engineer. Aaron was always a medic. Aaron has this weird, fucked up survivability about him.
Thanks. We tried to kill him, but we couldn't.
You're a bullet sponge.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. No, you can't.
See, we could do that though. Like me, for example, if Aaron and Goose wanted to be some form of healer and a supporter, and Ice and I wanted to be the kind of the forward attackers, and one of the medics went down, then we could adjust accordingly to help out in that situation. If somebody dies, we can change it up on the go, and then change it back when everyone's kind of alive again. And
We all know Iceman's going to go ahead and be a forward attacker. So.
Yeah. I'm more worried about myself. Hell with the team.
He did his part.
As long as I do my part, man, that's all that matters.
Can you team kill per se?
In the dark zone, yes. In outside of the dark zone, no.
Oh, I'm taking all your guys' loot for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come up behind Goose and smack him in the back real quick and take his loot and then leave.
We gotta put like a prop bet out on who goes rogue
sounds like the
on
American
their
way.
own friends first. The American way, isn't that nice?
Yeah, let's see how many of our friends watch this podcast. We have a giant roster of people wanting to play the division with us. The 4 people in here are definitely among the main people.
You make it sound like we're extremely popular. There's just a lot of
We're not
people we
popular.
know that
There's
are
a
getting
lot-
the division.
Hey, let us have this, all right, Aaron. Let us have this one.
If I was to count them all, there would be at least 30 people I could tell you right now that would all want to play with us. So
I can
we
tell
could
you
just
right now, our
take
friends
we
list
could
are
take the
gonna be
handful
lighting
of
up
people
when
that we
this game comes
trust,
out.
and
Yeah.
if we're on our own, we could backstab our other friends.
Like Maverick, we could definitely do that to Mav.
Oh,
Well,
no. Poor
we'll see who's
Mav.
online one day, and we'll split up into 4 teams. We'll each get 3 other people, and we'll take all their loot together, and then we'll join like a super group. But if they're watching this, then we're screwed. But
Yeah, the plan has been ousted.
Poor Mav, he's gonna get so screwed in that
So
game.
that can bring up another conversation in a whole new light. Like how many groups of friends out there aren't going to be friends anymore because somebody betrayed them in the dark zone and took their loot. Like how many friendships is the division going to end?
But this is what I mean. It's the idea of survival of the fittest, and in the fact that like everything is who the fuck do I trust? They've nailed that to the wall.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because
Definitely
the nicest person in the world becomes a warlord when there's only so much food on the table. You know?
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point. It gives it a sense of urgency when you go in there. I got this great weapon. I got to get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
this might seem like a silly question here, but Going back to how I said you don't lose what you go in there with.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So everyone goes in there. They don't lose what they go in with. So where does the loot come from?
That's a
A
good
drop
question.
system, presumably.
Because I know there's going to be AI in there with us. Or is it them that drop the initial loot? Or is it just like
No, I
are we
think you go
scouting
in.
in
I
there?
think you go in specifically. Yeah, I think you go in and scout when you're specifically looking for containment chests. And
Right,
when you get to
right.
the containment chest, then you get the decision to shoot everyone in the head and keep the containment chest for yourself. You know.
Right, I see.
So that's
I
why
never
everyone's a
thought about
buddy.
that. So.
Everyone's a buddy until we see what's in the shiny chest. You know.
Yeah.
You're all getting Kaiser Soze. That's all I'm saying.
You're all getting Kaiser Soze.
If you get the ability to name your character something, I'm just gonna name him Kaiser Soze, and then people will be like, "Can I trust this person?" You know.
I never thought about that either. I assume it's just going to be gamer tag, isn't it?
Probably.
Like in the
Yeah.
videos, all you see is a little bit of the character customization, but you don't really see the.
The
end
UI
of it.
looks great. I know it's not like a big
Oh, it
point,
does,
but
yeah.
like the kind of hollow readout you have, and the menu options, they do look great. I'm hoping they're as intuitive as they look.
I think like the HUD and everything, like where you go to change your weapon and everything like that. I like how it's projected on the screen and not where you don't have to go into a pause menu or anything like that. It's projected right out onto your screen. I think that's pretty.
Yeah, the map being
innovative.
below you when you stand.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty cool too. Well, how about those?
Is that all part of the watch, the map and stuff? Is that what the watch is for?
Yeah.
Or is
The
it...
watch casts onto the ground, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there
It's a
was
fantastic
a watch.
idea. Fantastic, like it, because I mean, with VR coming into play in the next couple of years with Microsoft HoloLens and stuff, the idea of that map could very quickly become a real world, thing, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with the watch for those of the people that haven't heard about it? It's part of like a package deal, right, with the game.
Oh well, we were talking about your actual.
we were talking about the
talking
watch in the game.
In game, it's kind of like your watch is your hub, your data readout and stuff, your Cortana, if you will.
Your Pip-Boy.
Yeah, your Pip-Boy.
Your Pip-Boy.
Yeah, well, yeah,
it's
it's a futuristic Pip-Boy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, that's pretty cool.
As if the Pip-Boy wasn't already a futuristic Pip-Boy.
It's like, it's a past and future.
Yeah. It's an alternate future. What I like about the Division right now is I'm equally as excited for the stuff I don't know about to the stuff I have seen, which is good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the stuff I don't understand, I'm excited for because it leaves a lot open for speculation. Like really crossing my fingers, I won't be disappointed. But yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of faith at the start and not be a cynic.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to look forward to in the Division. It's a completely different platform than anything that we've experienced on the next gen console so far. Is like how everything works. The basics of the game is completely different than what we're used to. It's what I'm looking forward to most. Call of Duty was different, but I've played every Call of Duty since Call of Duty Big Red 1 on the original Xbox. They're still the same 15 years later. So I think it's going to be good. I'm really excited for it. I haven't been this excited for a game in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't either. Thinking about it.
I'm quite easily excited, so I'm not part of that exclusive group. I'm like a puppy. I mean, Goose was excited just for the weather, so his mind is just going to be blown.
If I'm getting excited for the weather, it's going to be a good game.
It doesn't take much to get
I just
Goose
imagine,
excited.
I just imagine we'd be playing and Goose would be like, "Oh, it's gonna rain. I can feel it in my knee." You know what
Oh man.
I mean?
Oh, I'm never living down this whole weather thing now, am
Nope.
I?
No,
No
Nope.
chance. Not now that
No
you're a
better.
weatherman.
I don't care
Forever.
about that customizable trigger. Look at these snowflakes. Each one is unique.
They're so shiny. All nice and fluffy. Best snowflakes ever. You're right. You never are gonna live that down, ever. That's tremendous. That's why you're here, Goose, for comedic purposes.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
we don't actually respect you or like you as a
Yeah,
person.
we just want to
wanna
make
laugh
fun
at
of
you.
you. Yeah.
Just remember, Goose, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you.
That's not true.
No.
You're right. That's completely 100% false. Just trying to make you feel better.
So what do you guys think about the looting system in like Explore when you're exploring?
I think
Pretty
it's
sure
like-
it's-
I like the fact that like when you're with your group and you find like a loot chest or whatnot, everybody
gets
gets
their own.
the same thing. Like yeah, like you don't have to rush to the loot chest and get it because everyone's gonna get their own stuff and it's gonna be
yeah.
you know,
Everyone gets the same chest, but it's everyone gets
Yeah.
different stuff according.
right.
accordingly. Yeah, I like that. It's definitely a good idea.
I
As long as,
agree.
as long as it's not a hairy chest, I don't mind.
Yeah, we gotta stay away from the hairy chests. Yes.
Aaron, me and you spent fucking hours chest farming on Destiny. Just
Oh yeah, I'm
spent
obsessive
so much
that
time.
way.
Yeah, like
I'll drop time doing mediocre things because I just get obsessed.
yeah.
Oh, I guess
So,
there's
fine.
It's only gonna
another
be twice as
question.
bad, and-
Farming. Will there be that type of farming in the game?
I'm hoping not.
Hmm.
I'm hoping you won't have to farm. You know.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I hope, and I don't think you should be able to get the best gear right off the rip either. There has to be some grind to the game. Like, you open up your first chest and you get some uber powerful gun that you could blow through the whole game with. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of like that grind. It's one reason to keep coming back to the game, is you're always trying to make your guy better. So, I mean,
Yeah, but
to
I
a
don't want to
certain
be
extent.
traversing an open world looking for weapon parts for 4 hours. That's not what I want to be doing.
Right, or take you 6 weeks to get a pair of gauntlets for your character, like I did in the raid.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, one of the,
Well, I
one
mean-
of the grinding aspects is going to be finding resources though for people.
Yeah.
So that's good because it's not all that important to you, but it's something to do. Like it's something you're not grinding for hours and hours just to improve your guy, but you're doing it to help other people, and then maybe those people that you've helped will then reward you in some way. So that I
Well,
like
like,
that kind of
off
grinding
the bat,
aspect.
we don't want it to be Destiny. Is what we're saying.
Right.
No,
Like,
I want it to be
Des-
far from Destiny.
Destiny, like any other game, has its positives and negatives, but we want the Division
To
to
be
be
better.
a different beast. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, better first of all,
Different,
but
better.
different.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I could care less when that comes out, if I ever play Destiny again after that. I mean, I'm just telling it like it is. Like, I've got so many hours invested in Destiny, I don't really want to play it now.
Yeah.
And if that game makes me put down Destiny until Destiny 2 comes out, I'm completely 100% fine with that.
Or even take it one further. Like if obviously if you're planning on getting Destiny 2, so if the Division is that good, like now we're talking you get March and into the summer and then into fall, and worse, it still has your attention. Like that's gonna be kind of interesting when Destiny 2 comes out. If the Division is a home run, and people are investing that kind of hours, and you're gonna have to make a choice. Like, will Destiny 2 pull people away from the Division? Like, we'll have to see about that.
Yep, for sure.
I like one of the things I just thought about was I really like how the Division is incorporating everyone has their own base operations, and then there's a social space at the beginning of the game to go to hook up with other players, to go do different things. I really thought that was cool.
So is that like
I
a
think
tower?
It'll have a similar type area like a tower in the beginning of the game, like right before you enter in the city, that you can go to find people, to do missions,
I think that's kind
buy
of
and
a
sell things and stuff.
I think that's kind of a deficit to the game, though, in some respects, because you can't just have random kind of meetups in the world. You have to set up your mission before you go out. Now, maybe
Well,
they'll augment that going into it. I just think that it makes it limited. If I'm out scavenging or doing whatever, I have to come back to the social hub to meet up with coffee. You know what I mean? To
No,
get shit
you
done.
don't, because I remember seeing in some of the footage where they were just walking around in the open world, and they came across I don't remember the type of mission it was, but it was a mission, and it gave them the option on that mission to matchmake it. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I seen that one. Yeah.
I don't know if that's just random people, like it's going to matchmake randoms in, or can you matchmake like, oh, can I invite specific friends in from that point, or do I have to invite specific friends from that social space I was just talking about? So, but yeah, like going up to a regular mission inside the open world when you're in your single player campaign and be able to matchmake and do that mission with 3 other people is going to be possible, which is cool.
Yeah, you can do it solo. They said the matchmaking's there so that you don't have to do it solo if it's too
Yeah.
much of a struggle. I
Right.
assume that, you could probably invite your friends in before that and have them just join you, I guess. I mean, kind of like Grand Theft Auto. I like, in a way, the way those servers work.
Yeah, each map was its own. Each
They also
world was
said
its own server.
if you're a Billy No-Mates, it's perfectly acceptable to play the game on your own. Like, the matchmaking's fine for anything you need a team for, but you
Yeah.
can still get a lot of enjoyment out of the game playing single player, which is great. It's great that they didn't, you know what I mean, nerf fully
Yeah.
We're all in
single
different
player.
time zones, so it's hard to play together. So it's good that there's something that we can look forward to do. If we, say if we're going to work and we've got an hour to spare, go on and do something ourselves and not have to wait for other people.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. There are times where you only get limited amount of time on the game, so you want to be able to just bang something out on your own, not have to do it with friends if you don't want to.
Right, well, I guess for a wrap up, you want to go around and say what we're most excited about within the division?
Sure.
Start with Iceman, I guess.
All right. Well,
Easy.
the thing that I'm most excited for is going to be the Dark Zone, as we've already covered. I think that is a fantastic idea for a game, just for the multiplayer aspect, where you're not solely competing against each other, like like a Call of Duty or Destiny, where you all get into a lobby, you load into a match, and you just kill each other for hours. I like the aspect of, and then it's a random reward. I like the aspect you go in, you find a chest, you keep, you got to fight to keep the stuff that you have. I like that aspect of it, as opposed to just, at the end of the match, somebody goes 2-22 and they get a good weapon or something like that. You know what I mean? I like that you have to fight to keep what you have, and I think that's a great idea.
To go further on that, just briefly, the first thing I like, and Aaron, you and I talked about this, is that I love that it's a multiplayer aspect that's so different from everything else. That it's not an elimination based, it's not team deathmatch. There's no strict respawns in that. It's different, okay. But what I'm getting at is that Aaron said, is that all there is to it? Do you think there should be more game types available in the Dark Zone and not just the same thing? Do you think that'll get quite repetitive quickly?
No, I don't think it'd get repetitive, because you're going to be trying to get more gear and better gear. So regardless, there's going to be different people, and there's different dark zones that you can go into, like the one we talked about with the gas mask,
though, isn't it?
right?
Well, I suppose the gas mask, yeah. If they put different
stuff like
map
that.
elements, then
Yeah, different elements to it. That right there is going to help not to prevent it from being repetitive. So if you're like with Fallout or Destiny, where you're on that grind to get the better gear, I don't think that's going to have that big of an effect on how you view the Dark Zone, personally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, regardless, okay, yeah, I got to go back to the Dark Zone and kill some more people and try to get more gear. But you're not always going to be successful in that, too. There's going to be times where you're going to get killed and somebody's going to take the stuff that you have. So that's just going to piss you off and make you want to go back more and get your stuff back that you tried to get before. So there's a completely different way of doing it in the Division as opposed to other games. So I don't think it's going to be as repetitive as going into a team deathmatch in Call of Duty and just playing the same 3 maps over and over and over and over again, in Destiny doing the same thing. So it's completely different than anything that's out right now, and I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Hope it's going to be great.
Okay. Goose have pot news.
We all know
two
what
things.
Goose is going to be.
Two things.
Excited
Yes,
for.
the weather
Yeah.
system.
Do
The weather.
Okay.
The weather first.
System,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The exploration of the open world. I'm really looking forward to that. That's something that really caught my eye in the very beginning, was this massive open world, mid-crisis New York City, just checking that whole area out, making your way around, surviving, getting into firefights, and being with your friends. You know, a group of friends all doing it together, coming across different things and exploring the big open space that they create for us. That's what I'm looking forward to the most, outside of the weather system, of course.
Yeah, because that's number one.
Yes. I'm just going to embrace this whole Goose the Weatherman thing, and it's going to be fun. I'll definitely give daily forecasts.
You have to give a 10-day forecast for the next podcast when the Division comes out. You have to give us a 10-day forecast. And
10-day forecast. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Well, it's preparing for
the
time in between podcasts. You know, people want to know the weather.
All right.
I suppose I'm most excited about just the new experience. I think, like, obviously we've talked a lot about Destiny and other games here. Like, Destiny set the ball rolling on consoles for even mini MMOs. You know what I mean? And it is the type of thing we haven't had very much of before. Obviously, Coffee played a lot of Final Fantasy, which is a fully fledged MMO. We played a lot of Neverwinter when it first dropped, the free to play, Dungeons and Dragons, which was very fun. So I like, I like when a new trend comes along. I like the different takes on it, and I'm just excited to see what they do with it. I mean, it could be disappointing, and I'm fully prepared for that. I'm hoping it's not, but either way, I'm going to ramp the shit out of it and see what it's all about. See how it ticks.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do if this game fails to live up to the hype.
I
really don't.
playing
I really don't. I mean,
regardless.
if you take a moment and just think about that, like, this game fails to live up to the hype, like, we're gonna be sitting here doing what? you know. So
until we actually play the beta, though,
there's a lot
you're
of
not gonna
pressure
get
there, Ubisoft.
that much of a grasp on it. We'll just have to see what the beta offers before we think too much on the hype, I guess.
Right.
Like, we've seen it, but we haven't played it.
We should do
a big difference.
Do a podcast just after the beta closes, just to kind of update our thoughts.
Well, I mean, when it comes out, I think we'll probably, if we're all on, I'd like to do some form of a live stream. Obviously, I struggle live streaming right now because I've got some issues with my technology.
Penis.
So yes, my
Yeah, Clancy boner. It's all to the left.
I
Clancy
didn't want to
boner.
say it. I didn't want to say it.
Your Clancy boners.
Yeah,
He's
it's,
picked up herpes.
It doesn't bend right.
Yeah.
Doesn't bend right.
Shouldn't bend at all.
Yeah, dude.
So I think when the beta's out, if we're all on at one point, I mean, I'm only off on the Saturday, but I'm sure we'll all be on at nighttime for a couple of hours at least. So
Right.
we can live stream like we're doing now. If anything, just stream it for an hour, for
video.
a couple of hours or whatever, with video. It's like a podcast, but
We're not going to be voice
podcast.
streaming for an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like a
you're gonna see some stuff on
podcast.
screen. But you're gonna get some laughs too. But we can stream it, record it. Iceman said today, if I'm not on, he'll record some stuff, and we'll find a way to. Goose, you can do the same thing.
I'm not watching
Anyone
his
can make clips for
punk-ass
us.
gameplay.
And,
Right. Yeah,
It's
and
kinda
when the
shit.
division releases in March, I may purchase a capture card for that, just so I can collect some content to help give another angle, another perspective. So definitely is all possibility.
Right, coffee, wrap up. What are you excited about? Everything? Is it everything?
I
Tell me it's
think
everything.
I think my erection is slowly tilts towards the
like a suit stone. Just drop it in water and see where it points. Oh man.
like a magnet needle.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
these things called weather sticks.
What's it
Certain
navigating
barometric
towards?
pressure changes the way the wood
You can hold
bends.
the division disc above my erection and watch it just move like a needle.
We're just gonna do a 2-hour live stream of Call Coffee's erection. And enjoy that.
Come on. All right. It's a family show. We got to keep this appropriate. So what are you most excited about, Coffee?
I think Aaron will tell you I'm bad for choosing things, but just thinking about it now, hearing yours, I wanted to pick something different, and the thing that I'm picking is, I guess the teamwork of that too, the teamwork involved. I guess like going back to Future Soldier, I remember playing that with my brother and some of his friends, and just the layout of the enemies. There were enemies everywhere. The enemies kind of reminded me like Assassin's Creed in a way, Aaron, in some missions where there's some up high, there's some down low, there's some elsewhere. You want to communicate to your guys. Yes, it's very strategic, and you need to counter that. And
yeah, well, I mean, it harkens to like Rainbow Six, what we've been playing as well.
It does, yeah.
Like team strategy.
Yeah, so that's what I like. I like the fact that the missions are going to be really tough by the looks of things, and we're going to need communication. We're going to need to use our abilities in a sense. Whatever we purchase, we're going to have to make the most out of them all. We're going to have to communicate to be able to beat the bosses, and I genuinely think there's going to be a lot of teamwork involved, and that's what I'm probably looking forward to. I love teamwork-based games. That's why I love Easter eggs, and I loved Extinction, and and I'm starting to enjoy Rainbow Six when the servers work.
Right? When we're not
Yeah.
waiting an hour to get into a multiplayer match.
Yeah.
Yes.
The idea that you're only as strong as the friends that you're back is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until they kill you in the dark zone.
Until you go into the dark zone, and that becomes,
Yeah.
oh man. Who's gonna have that running through their head when you go into the dark
Oh, if
zone
Coffee's
for the
in
first
there,
time?
that'll definitely be going through my head.
Oh man, yeah.
How many times has he trolled us on Destiny? Like
I'm a
knocking
troll.
us
I'm
off
not. I'm not serious.
Maverick too. Mav will totally just cap me and take my stuff too.
Oh, especially if you go to J Tim's without him again. He's definitely gonna take your shit for sure.
It's gonna be good. We're gonna have a laugh. That'll be cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, so that was a fantastic podcast, guys. Thanks for the participation.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a good time in there.
No
That was
problem.
cool.
Anytime.
No problem.
That was cool.
I
Yeah.
think we had some. So I had some laughs in this one.
You're welcome that I was here. You're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been anything without AA Ron.
Aaron.
Oh, that was good.
Oh,
That was
well.
good.
How do you
All right,
pronounce his
guys.
second part of his name, Goose?
Levi.
Yeah, 10 points.
There you
One
go.
American that gets it right, like the jeans.
I like the jeans.
Right, guys, please do like and subscribe because we're very vain and that really boosts our ego. And we'll be back hopefully next week for the Division live stream and probably a Division beta podcast again. So you're gonna have to listen to more of this schlock.
I'll be
Now
back
Goose
with the weather.
No, not Goose. Goose is gonna be just confounded. He's just gonna be standing in spot going, "My God, these sun rays."
We're gonna have to get some footage of me in there for the first time, looking at
We're
looking at
staring
the
at
weather
the sky.
system. I'm just trying to get a judge on what's coming, guys, before we do this mission. Is it snow? Is it clear skies or what?
Is it Juice from Coffee's Clancy Boner? Okay, guys, that's
It
all
could
we
be.
have.
Oh, okay now.
And on
That's
that
all we got
note,
time for today.
Yeah, seriously, thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. And we hope you guys join us in 1 week's time. See you later.